Coming up on UCF Nightly News, Black and Gold goes 50 Shades of Gray. We'll tell you how Volunteer UCF is helping students understand the reality between the book and the big screen.
And a first in the history of Sports Illustrated. Find out why its latest edition is redefining what it means to be a swimsuit.
And they didn't come up with the saying, man's best friend, for nothing. See how one dog went the distance for his owner.
You're watching Nightly News, covering the UCF community and the greater Orlando area.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Jack Ebel.
And I'm Stephanie Muniz. Today is Friday, February 13th. While Friday the 13th may not be the luckiest day, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and you might be feeling lucky in love.
We'll show you what puppy love looks like right here in Florida, where some prefer an evening with a four-legged date.
Find out how long-distance couples celebrate the Day of Love.
And a night in Orlando shows you where you can take your Valentine tomorrow night.
But we begin our show with a little love advice. An expert in relationship communication was on campus this week to discuss conflict management. Reporter Kelsey Walker found out if students would actually use the Love Guru's advice.
CampusExplorer.com says if a college couple's going to break up, it's likely to be around the time of spring break, summer vacation, or winter break. With spring break just weeks away and Valentine's Day just days away, I asked students around campus what makes a healthy relationship. Jaleesa Hankerson is a year into her relationship and says communication is key.
We definitely try to talk as much as often because we realize our biggest thing is not being on the same page because we didn't say something or we didn't realize what the other person was trying to convey.
HerCampus.com says college is the ultimate test for couples. The website says with stress of school, work, activities, and a busy social life, students' relationships are tough to manage. Dr. Dan Canary spoke this week at UCF about managing conflict strategically in personal relationships. He encourages couples to not reciprocate a partner's negative behavior and acknowledge when they've said something during a conflict.
So people have to decide if they're going to confront or avoid their partner. And then they also have to decide whether they're going to be nice or nasty about it.
Leisha Samuel says she agrees with Dr. Canary and puts a stop to negative behavior before it can get worse.
I think that as soon as you do something wrong, that you should call them out on it so you can fix it and be done with it and move on.
For Valentine's Day, Dr. Canary recommends couples do something together that's fun but not tacky. He says something as easy as giving a card and signing it with love is a great gift. In Orlando, Kelsey Walker, UCF Nightly News.
For more on maintaining relationships, you can find Dr. Canary's most recent article in the upcoming March edition of the International Journal of Intercultural Relations.
Here in the Sunshine State, love is a four-letter word. A recent Big Heart pet brand study reveals that Florida ranks 5th among the top 10 dog-loving states. The survey asked 3,000 dog owners from around the U.S. how often they engage in loving behaviors from doggy kisses to cuddles. When participants were asked how they'd spend their Valentine's Day, 39% of women chose their dogs over dates, while 23% of men and 20% of U.S. residents said the same. Some local dog parents say their fur babies are fluffy little blessings.
Dog is you always have it. It sleeps with you and everything. Not to sound crazy, but you can talk to it and everything, and it listens to you and everything. So that's really a good thing about having a dog. It's like your companion for life.
California, New York, Washington, and Tennessee beat out the Sunshine State for the title of top dog lovers.
Kisses come in many forms, from the gentle peck to the sensual French. But this Valentine's Day, a kiss of any kind can get you free food. Qdoba Restaurant is running a promotion called Smothered for a Smooch. Customers who purchase a smothered burrito and share a kiss with anyone will get a second one for free. Company officials say the offer is meant to be a bit over the top, but fun.
Wow, what a deal. Spending Valentine's Day with your love may be just a short drive away, but what about couples who live hundreds of miles apart? If you think long-distance relationships don't work, you could be wrong. A Journal of Communication study shows long-distance lovers feel emotionally closer to one another than geographically close couples. Some UCF students have lovers from afar and say they make it work, but seeing other lovebirds on Valentine's Day gets tough.
So you see everyone else, like a lot of people I know they get together for like 2 weeks for Valentine's Day, and you know you can't do that, but it's great to like talk to the person over the phone, but you just want to see them so badly too.
The Center for the Study of Long-Distance Relationships says more than 4.5 million long-distance couples are in college.
This week, A Night in Orlando brings you more things to eat, see, and do around the UCF community. The National Retail Federation predicts that Americans will spend $18 billion on Valentine's Day. Nightly news reporter Vanessa Rodriguez tells us of 3 unique places to go tomorrow on a budget.
We asked UCF students around campus what they have planned for Valentine's Day.
I'm just hanging out with some girlfriends. We decided to just look pretty for each other and have a nice time.
My girlfriend's actually studying abroad in Europe, so I'm just going to send her cards.
I'm going to take my friend to see 50 Shades of Grey.
I'm actually using this as a family weekend to spend some time with the family.
While some students have plans, most others did not. And if you're looking for somewhere to go this Valentine's Day, we've got 3 unique places for you to visit.
For those laid-back students, Orlando Brewing is holding a beer and chocolate pairing starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow. The cost is $15 per person, and it comes with 4 beers and 4 chocolates to combine. If you're looking for something a little bit more romantic, look no further than Lou Gardens. Although it may not be decorated just yet, these areas will be filled with candlelights, music, and tons of people come Saturday night. Guests start off at the gazebo, walk their way to the museum, and end up at the Flower Clock Garden, where classical music fills the air. You can bring a blanket, food, and wine and enjoy a picnic under the stars. And speaking of stars, this last activity can take you there and back. A visit to the Seminole State Planetarium will feature 3 romantic stories from the heavens above. You can find cool artistry and telescopes. The event is open tonight and lasts through tomorrow night. So if flowers and cards aren't your thing, there's plenty to do around town. A Night in Orlando, Vanessa Rodriguez, UCF Nightly News.
We have a full list of prices, locations, and hours for each activity on our website, nightlynews.ucf.edu. With all these activities, I hope the weather's going to be holding up.
For warm lovers, today wasn't a good start. Lila's here with our first forecast. How are we looking?
It's looking pretty clear, guys. I mean, it's great Valentine's Day weather, cool and nice and breezy. So the weather's been great this week, maybe a little chilly, but pretty clear overall. We're looking at a current temperature of 60 degrees, and it's not too humid out there either. A nice 33% humidity is pretty low for sunny Florida. And even better, 0% chance of rain. You might want to bring a sweater though, because winds of 9 miles an hour can make it a little cooler out there.
Thank you, Lila. Still ahead on Nightly News. Have you ever had trouble getting your flirt on? I know I have. Lila here spoke to experts about the science behind the chemistry of love.
And an adjunct professor organizes free lectures to help fight chronic illness. tried to flirt with someone but they had no idea? Well, you're not alone. A recent study shows that men and women might be getting their signals crossed. Reporter Lila El-Touni asked students how they communicate with each other.
The Norwegian University of Science and Technology reports that men can tend to overestimate a woman's interest in them. The flip side shows that women can tend to underestimate a man's interest. Professor of Sociology Dr. Amanda Anthony says it has to do with the way people learn to socialize.
Women are typically taught more about emotions and pick up on more nuanced cues. Men, on the other hand, a part of masculinity actually is being more tough or guarded or something of that sort.
Nightly News asked students around campus if they've ever gotten mixed signals. They all said yes. So we asked, how do they let someone know they're interested?
Wow, are you flirting with me? You know, that's one of my favorite lines of flirting is, hey, are you flirting? No, I'm not flirting with you, but I should.
I smile a lot, and so maybe just smiling and playing with my hair.
My go-to flirting move is like laughing like an idiot and pretending like I'm totally interested in what you're saying even though I'm smarter than you and not interested at all.
Dr. Anthony says men and women might find it easier to communicate if they were on the same page.
Women can be strong but understand emotions, while men, once again, can be strong but understand emotions. So it's really much more meeting in the middle.
Some students say it's easier to be straightforward.
Let's go have dinner or something, let's hang out. So I just prefer if you're direct and you get straight to the point.
Honestly, I just start talking with them, and if I can hold a conversation with them and if I'm interested, then typically something goes from there.
Though it might not be the easiest thing to do, Dr. Anthony says being open with someone is probably the best way to avoid any confusion. In Orlando, Lila El-Touni, UCF Nightly News.
If you're still not convinced that you need to work on your game, a Facebook analysis reports about 30% of married graduates met their spouses in college.
The UCF Student Philanthropy Council hosted events throughout the week to promote and educate students on the importance of giving. Philanthropy Week highlighted the contributions from community partners to remodel buildings and create the new scholarships. Daily activities included writing personal thank you cards to donors and a panel discussion with Orlando leaders. This is the second Philanthropy Week at UCF, and students hope to expand its impact next year. The council also encourages Knights to donate or impact their community by volunteering.
UCF adjunct professor Dalton Oliver recently started a campaign called Follow the Fight. He is presenting weekly series of free exercise strategies for the Orlando community. Oliver says the lectures change each week. Topics aim to prevent and help manage chronic diseases like obesity, diabetes, and depression. He says he wants his lectures to reach not only those at risk of chronic disease, but their family and friends as well.
We need a lot of people to come together. We need the community to get involved. We need their loved ones to get involved and understand and relate to the information.
For more information on upcoming lectures, visit our website at nightlynews.ucf.edu.
Best-selling novel 50 Shades of Grey hits the silver screen tonight, and if you plan on going, you may want to leave your younger siblings at home. The Mr. Skin website, which ranks films by the amount of sex scenes, described 50 Shades as the raunchiest film of the decade, with 20 minutes of sex scenes in the film's 100-minute runtime. The film also includes more sex than the 100 most naked films of 2014 combined. And staying on the topic of 50 Shades, in response to the movie, volunteer UCF Health hosted 50 Shades of Black and Gold. Because of the series' success, the organization educated students on how to make informed sexual choices. The event included presentations from local adult novelty shops and counseling and psychological services, or CAPS. CAPS says safe, dominant, and submissive relationships require consent, comfort, and communication. Master Penguin, as he calls himself, is a BDSM educator from a local lounge. He says the practice is about respect and honesty.
BDSM can be and is often about very loving relationships. They are very intense. The level of honesty in the relationship is often much higher than it is in a normal relationship.
Psychology Today reports 5 million adults in the United States openly participate in BDSM.
Sports Illustrated magazine is featuring a new image in its 2015 swimsuit edition. The magazine hit stands Tuesday with a plus-size model gracing the pages. Robin Lawley, and yes, she is a size 12, is the first featured plus-size model in Sports Illustrated history. And UCF women's studies professionals say social media could have played a role.
You can start a blog or a Tumblr or be active on Twitter and be a citizen sort of journalist and talk about your own life. I do think that we're seeing, if you look for it, more varied images of what women look like and what men look like too.
Lolly might not be what most people imagine when they think plus size, but Twee says she's an average body size for women in society today.
After the break, an American Horror Story actress hits the runway. Find out why it's a first for New York's Fashion Week.
And grab someone to cuddle up with. It's going to be a chilly weekend. Lila Altooni will have our first forecast.
Welcome back, Knights. I'm Natalie Pellicetti, here with a look at what's happening around the nation. If you ever doubted the love between a dog and its owner, you might want to think again. In an amazing display of loyalty, one dog ran away from her home in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to find her owner, Nancy Frank. Sissy is a 10-year-old schnauzer that walked nearly 20 blocks to Mercy Medical Center, where Frank was being treated. Cameras captured Sissy running through the hallways, and security contacted the family to let them know she was safe. The family says Sissy never ran away from home before and simply said, "It's amazing." 3 people could be multi-millionaires when they split the $564 Powerball jackpot. The winning tickets were sold in Texas, North Carolina, and Puerto Rico on Wednesday. And it's the 5th largest lottery prize in U.S. history, with the lucky winners each getting roughly $188 million. The Multi-State Lottery Association reports there's a 1 in 175 million chance of winning the Powerball. That's it for your national news headlines. Now over to the weather. Lila?
Well, we're going to start by looking at the state maps here. Here in Miami, it's a nice 72 degrees. You know, south is warm, so we kind of knew that already. But Orlando here is 59 degrees. Our neck of the woods is looking great for Valentine's Day. When we move up to Tallahassee, up here, the nation's capital is looking pretty cool, but makes sense. And when we look at the national map, we'll see that those trends up here continuing very blue, very cold. Winter Storm Gino hit them pretty hard, and now there's Marcus and Neptune, and hopefully down in south, we're not going to have any rainstorm Poseidon hitting us. Hopefully, if you have a long-term relationship, you can tell them to come visit us because we're looking pretty good. When we look at the national precipitation map, we'll see that we're looking pretty clear, not too much going on. A few droplets up in the Great Lakes, but nothing too worrisome. So when we take a look at the 5-day forecast, we'll see those trends continuing over here. Saturday and Sunday, we'll see that there's not much going on. Then as we move farther, Monday's looking still pretty clear, and Tuesday it's going to get a little bit more thunderstorm, 20% chance of rain, 60% on Wednesday, but not too bad. But overall, it's going to be a great week. Hope that you have a good Valentine's Day. Back to you guys at the desk.
Valentine's Day looks nice, Stephanie.
I know.
Now, UCF basketball took on state rival USF this week. We'll have all the details.
Arnold Godoy will give us our sports update after the break.
Welcome back, Knights fans. I'm Arnold Godoy with your UCF Sports Update. The UCF women's golf team fought through some tough weather earlier this week during the 2015 UCF Challenge. The last day of the tournament at Eagle Creek Golf Club brought a lot of wind, but the Lady Knights were able to place third in the final round, with Virginia taking the top spot. Two Knights were able to finish in the top 10. Laura Soho tied for 6th among individuals at 4 under par. This is her first top 10 finish as a Knight. And Monique Vasili got her second top 10 finish this season, finishing 9th overall. The team will be teeing it up once again on February 22nd at the Sugar Bowl Intercollegiate in New Orleans. The UCF men's basketball team came back from a 6-game losing streak this week. The Knights beat in-state rivals, the USF Bulls, 73-62 on Wednesday. Forward Stephon Blair says that when the war on I-4 comes up on the schedule, the team kicks it up a notch.
Yeah, every time we play USF, we look at it differently, just because they're right up the street. They don't like us. We don't like them. It's not like we have nothing against them, but if we just know, like, we got to come with a different intensity every time we play them.
The Knights will play against the Houston Cougars this Sunday at the CFE Arena. And 4 former UCF's men's baseball kick off the season with their opening game today. The Knights enter the season ranked 22nd in the Baseball America poll and 34th in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers of America poll. The squad didn't make it to the regionals in 2014, but Coach Terry Rooney says they have learned from last year's experience.
Every pitch matters, every day matters, every practice matters, every game matters, and I do feel like last year we were 1 game away from a regional. I do. I believe we were 1 win away from an NCAA regional, so I want those guys to understand that everything you do matters in us being successful.
The Knights will play Siena tonight at 6:30 p.m. That's all the time we have for sports. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Arnold. That's all the time we have for now. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to check us out at nightlynews.ucf.edu.
Have a great weekend.